欢迎回来，下面来关注媒体转型。近些年，互联网正在渐渐蚕食传统媒体的领地。英美一些历史悠久的纸媒先后因经营惨淡，或是关张，或是低价出售。而一本在伦敦编辑出版的周刊《经济学人》却在哀鸿遍野中风景那边独好。这份一本定价为5-6美元的纸刊，2012年在全球就卖出了150万份。当然，《经济学人》也不是没有感受到传统媒体的生存压力。为了顺应潮流，它很早就开始在数字化的道路上进行探索。截止今年3月，其数字版订阅量也达到了12万之多。那么，《经济学人》究竟是如何在风浪中驾驭纸媒的数字化转型呢？日前，我们专访了《经济学人》网站主编 Tom Standage。
纸媒转型是指在互联网的冲击下，传统纸媒探寻数字化、多平台发展的转型过程。这一转型始于最早遭遇纸媒危机的美国。有的纸媒探索以付费墙、增加数字发行和售卖数据库为主的盈利模式，如《纽约时报》等对网络版收费。有的纸媒吸纳各种新兴互联网技术产品创新，代表作是《纽约时报》数字化专题《雪崩》。8月份，亚马逊创始人贝佐斯收购华盛顿邮报，则带来传统媒体脱纸化转型为互联网企业的遐想。
Can you summarize the characteristics of the Economist's transformation from the magazine to an online edition and multimedia, the whole process? What are the biggest, characteristics you think?
Well, the first thing to say is that the way we see it and the way our readers see it is that print is another device. So we can see that our readers read us in print, and then they may spend some times of the week reading us on the web or on a smartphone or on a tablet, but they move between them. So this idea that there's something called a smartphone reader or a web reader or a print reader, there isn't. There's just readers of The Economist, and our model is that they should be able to get to our content on whatever platform they want, at whatever time they want.
So the content or the products you said won't change much on this. But the thing is, when we get onto the website, onto the smartphones, the circle is faster. Sometimes it's a stream. So how do you balance, or how do you prioritize timing of your stories and the depth of your stories?
So we think about this in two levels. The first is that we are still producing this weekly bundle, and that bundle has the point of view that it sort of steps back from the news. If you like, it's looking at the world every week from the moon and saying, what happened in the world this week? So that's the weekly cycle. And then, of course, during the week, when there are big stories, we do write about them and write about them on our website. And those reports that we do on the website often form the basis of print stories that go into the weekly edition. So I think the difference between us and, say, a daily newspaper is that the number of stories that we do on each day is a lot smaller. We do sort of something like 15 or 20 stories a day, and not all of them are news driven. So we're not covering absolutely everything, and our readers don't expect us to cover absolutely everything. They really come to us as a filter.
So how do you allocate your resources? I mean, capital, personnel, and are they doing the same thing on the different platforms?
Yes, so we don't have a separate team for web, for writing for the web, say. It's the same people. So, for example, this big deal between Verizon and Vodafone, our telecoms correspondent wrote about that for the web and is now writing the print story, the weekly edition story, as well. So it's the same person. And I think that's very important because our stories are quite opinionated, quite analytical, and you don't want one person in the web team who says one thing and another person on the print edition team who says something else. And I think that it's possible to do that because we don't expect them to jump and write 5 stories a day for the web. The number of stories that they write for the web will be 1 or 2 a week for most people. So it's because we are not trying to cover absolutely everything that we can have the same people doing both.
So we all know that The Economist is a premium magazine. During this process of this so-called multi-platform, do you see changes affecting your revenues and expenditures and profits?
Well, of course we do, because the big change that's happening is that the amount of print advertising is going down. In our case, it's going down. It's going down less than it has for other publications, but it's still going down. At the same time, we have the opportunity of new revenues from digital. So we, like everybody else, are trying to shift our business model. We are in the fortunate position that we have traditionally, historically, had a relatively small proportion of our revenue coming from advertising. It never went above 50%, and it's now at about 30%, I believe. If you look at, say, American newspapers, in 2008, which was the peak, the average was 87% from advertising. So a 20% drop in print advertising is a very, very big hit to their revenues. If you've got 30% coming from advertising, it's a much smaller hit. So we are managing that decline in print advertising. We are doing our best to take advantage of the opportunities of new advertising platforms. So essentially we've got print going down, we've got new kinds of digital coming up, but not as fast as print's going down. So we've also raised our prices, as some other publications have as well. We're very lucky that our readers are so loyal and love what we do so much.
经济学人之所以能够屹立不倒，一方面呢是以内容制胜，另一方面也是在适应时代变革，为读者提供多平台的阅读渠道。此外，经济学人集团近年来持续盈利的一个主要原因呢，就是非广告收入增长强劲。旗下经济学人智库 EIU 主营的信息数据产品呢，也大受欢迎。2012年业务增长达到了20%，相关业务呢还包括了专攻美国大选舆情监测的 CQ Roll Call， 两者呢都对公司业绩贡献颇多。看来传统媒体要实现真正的转型，思路应该再开阔一些。